Hello. Yep, sorry. What? Yeah, sorry. Send me a picture, please. Yep, yep. Cool. It's quite good. I enjoyed it. We are good to go, I think.
That's easy.
So, where are we? Okay, I've pulled you on the start screen because I've not done something. We last left you a little bit pissed off, and if I remember rightly, you are just. Hang on a second. You had. Should have listened to the end of at the end of last week's episode to remind myself. Can anybody remember where we left off last session? Sorry, I'm a bit rubbish tonight.
Yeah, we're at the inn before going to Altdorf.
You're at the inn before going to Altdorf.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
we
Inn
got
of Seven
the late home,
Spokes.
so we're going to stay the night before heading into Altdorf the next day.
Yes. That's kind of where I thought you were. Okay.
Sorry?
So, Altdorf. Of course, your stay at the inn is uneventful, especially after the previous events of the summoning of the Chaos Beast at the inn. Oh, look at that! In which you,
Music's really loud.
the music is
Good.
really loud. Hang on.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I tried to turn the volume down, it's not helped much. I need to make a endurance test for healing overnight at the inn.
Yep, we'll do that now then. If anybody's
So-
got any wounds, by all means, make and Jesus.
Didn't you take like 12 damage or something?
I got hit quite hard, yeah. Though Evil tried to heal me and ended up making it worse. So I had to down draft in the end.
Yeah,
Is it still average, or do I need to change the difficulty?
It's always average. So yeah, so if anybody's got any wounds, nice. You should be able to drag that onto your character sheet, and it should heal you by 9.
I'm only 2 down.
For some reason you won against Rembrandt. I don't know why.
No, he's the one that injured me from healing, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, so you have a fairly pleasant evening, and then yeah, the following day you will continue on into. Oh, you're with the bodyguard and the
That's right.
noblewoman. That's right,
Yeah.
and the rakish fella.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes. Well, honestly, the journey from the inn the following day to Altdorf is a pleasant journey. The rain has stopped for once, and everything is there's no issues at all. The journey to sort of the outskirts of Altdorf takes the best part of half a day. Rather than stopping at any further sort of coach houses, the coach pushes on to the town, well, to the city. As you get close, you come out of the forest, the heavy forested Drakvold, the heavy woodland of the Drakvold forest. Speed southwards towards what you can see in the distance, the white-walled capital of the Empire, Altdorf, the largest, richest city in the Empire. City, the smells, the sights, the sounds, even at night time, are vastly different to what you're all used to. Obersreich was a noisy-ish place, plenty of hawkers about, but you kind of magnify this by tenfold to really get a sense. The smell, the city just it's just overwhelming. And as the coach pulls into the Königsplatz and kind of pulls up, and your coachman kind of goes, "Well, folks, this is end of the line for you all." And one by one, you all kind of disembark. The noble woman and her entourage kind of disembark and look the furniture and well, not furniture, their luggage, sorry, across to one of the inns on the edge of the Königsplatz. Eager boards representing inns coverage all start to converge on you, and it's like, here, you fancy a night at my, and starts they all start kind of clamoring and pushing and suggesting that this inn is better than the other inn. All of them being the best inns in the city, Gov. All at reasonable prices, Gov, with the best possible entertainment. The Königsplatz itself is near the top of a street known as the Street of 100 Taverns. A place where you can find any place that you want of any kind of price to stay in. Around you, you can hear things like Angelino's, best grub in town, and stay at the Cat and Fiddle. And you get a whole bunch of one second. I can use that. And so you just get this, like, lots of people kind of clamoring and start pushing and shoving. People start automatically reaching for your luggage and whatever baggage and things you've got. And it takes a couple of glowers and grunts from various members of the group for people to sort of back off and kind of continue yelling at you about the best beds, the finest music, the greatest entertainment possible. But people are all sort of, and as they're all kind of clamoring around, you stand kind of half gawping as several of these boards and hawkers suddenly break out into a fist fight with, "No, my inn's better than yours, you idiot," and all this kind of stuff. They start punching each other, and you kind of all kind of grab your gear and sort of back off, not wanting to spend your first day in Altdorf or night in Altdorf with at the pleasure of the local city militia.
As we're walking through and this is happening, is there anybody kind of looking around watching us, or anybody who I think might have an idea of who I could ask, who would be able to guide us to the best, not the best inn, but the most appropriate inn for our budget, like a local?
Yeah, I mean, there are several. There are probably a dozen people. There are probably a dozen. That's not very helpful, is it?
Any of that
A
look
dozen different people that, Kay, from your kind of learned eye in these kind of matters, there are probably half a dozen to a dozen of this sort of 20 or 30 odd group of people that are all clamoring and pushing, that you think are probably more realistic about what they're offering. The kind of people that don't rush forward and try and force you into it.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, kind of catch you unawares and stuff. And so, yeah, you can spot a couple that. What are you looking for? What kind of person are you looking for?
Somebody who looks a little more trustworthy, who isn't quite as pushy, and somebody, I guess,
more local.
Yeah, certainly a local. Somebody who would know the ins and outs of the ins, the ins and outs of the areas.
Not like a well-dressed gentleman, more of a, like I don't know, maybe a normal worker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody authentic. There you go. That's the word.
Authentic, yeah.
And sincere.
Well, I've not dismounted from my horse, and I'm guessing Rembrandt hasn't either, so we can use the horses to kind of push our way through to whoever you point out.
You're very quiet, Kath.
Yeah.
You might need to move your mic closer to your mouth.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, got to turn it down now.
saying that I'm staying on the horse. I'm getting Rembrandt wood so that we can use that to kind of clear a path through to whoever you point out to us. The hawkers aren't going to stand in the way and get trampled, I wouldn't have thought.
Okay. Kay, give me an easy perception test, please.
That'll do.
Easy. Yeah, you make it, but okay.
But success.
A woman catches your attention. A shock of deep purple hair, a wardrobe that looks to be at the cutting edge. Certainly would have been at the cutting edge of fashion in Ubersreich. Perhaps not quite the cutting edge for court here in Altdorf, but certainly somewhere that level. I'm kind of thinking she probably looks a little bit like Bella Lestrange, but with big purple hair from Harry Potter.
Oh, just thinking about her as well.
And
I'm
weird.
literally just reading about her to my son at the moment.
brilliant. How did I know? That's
Helena Bonham Bloody
amazing.
Carter. Yeah.
I'm having to look at the map.
And what catches your attention is that she's fairly quiet, but she does seem to have, she's talking to 2 or 3 people, and she's already got them, her mannerisms and the way she's interacting with them. She seems to be cracking jokes. She seems to be getting them quite relaxed, just naturally. She's not trying to force herself or force the inn that she's representing. And as you kind of get close, you hear her talking about the Silver Griffin Inn, a place where you can have anything from wild debauched fun all the way down to the silent room and the reading room. And it just, her mannerisms put you in the sense that she's probably telling 80% of the truth about this place.
I guess 80% is a good start. Okay, I'll just kind of sidle up to her and say, a lot of fuss trying to get new people into your tavern around here, isn't there?
Oh, well, if you believe half the people here, yes. They'll all tell you that they've got the best place on the street.
Well, that's the problem. I don't believe half the people here. Tell us about your place.
Well, the Silver Griffin. It's a humble establishment.
Good beds, good food, good entertainment.
Good beds. It's a solid place, a 2-story timber building, white plaster facade adorned with a weathered Silver Griffin sign. She kind of, yes, it's just on the edge of the Street of 100 Taverns, just on the edge of the merchant district. Very welcoming, very cosy, she says. Frau Helmgart, a hearty woman. She runs the place. She runs it smoothly with an iron fist and a fair price for lodgings and food. What more could newcomers to the town want? None of this hypolite kind of falsehoods.
Well, I suspect my friend Rembrandt might want an appropriate amount of debauchery, but if that's not available at the tavern, he can always look elsewhere.
Debauchery's available. Debauchery's always available.
Debauchery while we have a nice meal. Is he joining tonight?
Yeah.
He said he might be a bit late. He's on child duty tonight.
Okay. Let's see what we can do.
She kind of glances over at him, kind of sat atop his horse, and she glances over at Elgas. Well, we have a special room called the Mercenaries Corner for people like them. All their kind of like to talk about jobs and information and generally share news of the city and the wilds. Maybe they want to spend time there. You, my dear, you'd like it in the Griffin's Hearth, a nice quiet place to warm those. And she kind of looks you up and down with a slight sly smile on her face to warm that rather nice figure of yours. Come. I promise you, it's everything that I've talked about and more, but it's not overdone or over-exaggerated.
Does it have a stable?
Get many horses, but yeah, we can stable a couple of horses.
Sounds perfect.
And as she kind of walks, the other people she was with all kind of like nodding and oh, this sounds really good. And as they all see your group kind of form up around Kay and around this lady, they kind of fall in just as though they're with you, but trying to look like they're with you, but staying far enough away that they're not with you. And you wind your way through from the market, the Königsplatz, down into the merchants' quarter, and sure enough, this street of 100 taverns. As far as you can see, all of these tavern signs. There could easily be 100. Some of you can count. Some of you just go 1, 2, more than I've got fingers, kind of thing. But she takes you.
Many, 1, 2, 3, many.
Yeah, she takes you along the road, and then she takes you sort of a sharp rightish. You're kind of heading northish now, and a sharp right into a side road with a few more inns and taverns. And at the very end, just on the outskirts of the merchants' quarter, you can see this, as I say, and it's exactly as she described it to you. It is a 2-story timber frame building, a white plaster facade, and there is a silver griffin sign that's gently swaying in the breeze. A warmth, kind of the warmth of the light, kind of fade, kind of bleeding through the closed shutters and the open door. The noise, it's not a frivolous, like rowdy noise, but there is a steady hum of voices and laughter coming from within. And as she takes you, she kind of takes some of you. She goes, well, we need to take the horses, and she points to Rembrandt and Elgast and say, stables round there. Just tell them that Guinevere sent you, and you'll be Genevieve, sorry, sent you. And you'll be well looked after. Now, my friends, come inside. Let me introduce you to the madame. She takes you in and into the common room, and it's busy. It's probably 2/3, 3/4 full. Mixture of humans, a few dwarves, some halflings, which is not uncommon, not massively common, but you are in the capital of the empire. And again, there are smells of great food and rather the sort of the beer and the ale smell you get. There's kind of one smell that kind of filters across sort of that alcohol mist, if you like, of a rather spicy, herby smelling brew. And a lot of people are kind of sat nursing these big flagons of ale, and much of that smell is coming from them. And one of the serving folk come over. Jenny, more guests for the inn. Excellent. Well, please, and she kind of grabs those of you who are not tending your horses and ushers you to a table. And without you even getting a chance to say no, thank you, you find yourself being plonked down on this table by this rather nice, slightly buxom, thin, blonde-haired, all her teeth kind of waitress. And she said, sort of, well, speciality of the night is roast venison with fresh potatoes and root vegetables. We could do a vegetable broth for those who are not so inclined. And of course, the alehouse blend. I'm sure you'd all like a good pint of our alehouse blend. Yes?
Well, thank you, miss. That sounds like a right proper good meal.
Excellent. Well, in which case, give me 5 minutes and it'll be here. And she immediately turns around and goes over to the and behind the bar, you can see this rather hearty and robust woman, resplendent in a sort of a deep burgundy ruffled shirt and trousers with a tavern sort of apron that's kind of a really contrasting sort of yellowy colour, and she's kind of polishing away at a couple of tankards, and she listens and immediately turns, and out comes 6 tankards and pours them all. And within about 2 or 3 minutes, you can see this girl, 3 tankards in each hand, and she comes over and puts them down on the table. And well, enjoy. The food will be here in 10 minutes. And she kind of turns off and continues.
It's quite a nice place, this.
And the ale in front of all of you has that herby, spicy smell coming from it.
What tavern did you say this place was?
The Silver Griffin.
Is the beer quite strong?
It's not as strong as Bugman 6X, but it's stronger than the swill you had regularly in Uber's Right.
It's like a chili beer. Spicy.
Exactly.
Spicy,
I think I've had one of those in a brewery somewhere. Just out of interest.
Ella downs hers in one.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
Can we have a look at the
after about sort of 10 minutes or so?
Oh.
Go on. After about 10 minutes or so, Elgast and Rembrandt, you kind of come in looking a little bit, I don't know, maybe a bit not shocked or surprised, but a little bit bemused about everything. You know, you've probably handed over a couple of silver shillings to have your horses stabled, fed, groomed, and pampered for the night. A little bit. There's not a lot of space. There's probably only space for maybe 3 more horses, and so in total there's probably 4 horses there. And each horse has 1 empty space, 1 empty stall, and each of the horses have their own little private stall. All the saddles and things come off, and they get hung up on the back on a nice little tack rail or whatever it's called. I'm sure my friend would slaughter me for that. Blankets are put over them after that. Yeah, basically they are really well looked after. And you kind of like, I've only paid 2 shillings for this. This seems a little bit odd. But it seems to be, there's plenty of comings and goings, and plenty of activity. Lots of laughter, lots of general frivolity, nothing drunken or rowdy. Seems like you're in a fairly well-heeled, well-controlled kind of inn.
I do believe we should see about rooms for night.
Rooms for the night. Yeah, okay. Food arrives, and you are treated to a rather hearty meal. Exactly as I said, venison, freshly cooked root vegetables, potatoes, some broth with bread, some clean water, and generally a very, very tasteful meal.
In terms of the other clientele that's in there at the moment, anybody of interest?
There are, I said, there's plenty of people, interesting and otherwise, to be fair. A mixture of sort of, your kind of statuses, so low silver, mid silver, maybe a couple of gold status individuals, possibly a couple of off-duty city guard, maybe even a couple of outdoor soldiers. There are two or three
Anybody more in
ladies.
the brass kind of area? A bit more shady, maybe? Or am I in the wrong kind of place?
Let's have a look. You're in the wrong kind of place.
Yeah.
So maybe
You're
a
in the wrong kind of
merchant
place.
or
The shady criminal element. There are a few people that have more of that kind of merchant air about them that may be open for business. And let me just. That is the owner of the bar.
Brand's type.
belt? I'm sure she was a fine lady in a prime.
Apart from the fact that you can absolutely apart from the fact that she was stuck in the bar, and one of the hands seems to be a bit mutated.
Yeah, not looking at that.
Not bad for a 10-second AI generated piece of art, is it?
That's very good.
It's worryingly good.
She is not mutated in any way. That's just the AI that can't do hands very well. But
I mean, they're better than I've seen them.
Yeah, they are improving actually. That's Night Cafe. They've got some new stuff in Night Cafe, and it's massively better, way better than it ever was. So she seems to be the proprietor, and she's a no nonsense woman, and the serving the crew. There's a mixture of male and it's not all female. There's a mixture of male and female servers. You just happen to be grabbed by one of the females, but there are probably 6 in total for this kind of common room, and there's probably about 40 or so people in here, 45 people plus including yourself, so not quiet. You mentioned about rooms, and the serving girl kind of says, well, go talk to Madame Gertrude, and I'm sure she'll be able to find you something.
How long are we intending to stay in Altdorf?
Really decided that. You've literally just arrived at night. You've been mobbed by a bunch of people in the Königsplatz, and
I hope nobody stole anything.
Well, you have a quick search around your person, and everything seems to be in place.
Yeah, I've got to offload this crate of spirits as well.
Oh yeah, your crate of spirits. I forgot.
And aren't we supposed to be looking for a crown prince of some? Is it Mildel?
Crown Prince.
Osterland. Is it Osterland?
Yeah, it is.
Well, he's offering work, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
We also have some information to perhaps take to the College of Mages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What for?
Coinage.
No, I mean, what for?
To report one of their members who's breaking the law.
Oh, great.
That's right.
Studying multiple schools of magic and assassinating, albeit we think slightly suspicious folk, still assassinating people.
Why was
magic.
What do you mean he was assassinating who?
The guy in the tower.
You know the Luminarch or the machine, I should say. Don't know it's Luminarch.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the person that jumped out the window of some bird made something coming out of a book.
Probably ought to say something about that as well. But
Lots of
things. A slightly more dangerous subject, that one.
I forgot about the tower. It's been so long ago. Feels like months.
It does feel like months, doesn't it? Okay.
But yes, we'd like to maybe get some rooms for night, and for me and my friends, and maybe a little longer, depending if we stay in Altdorf. Your service is very good. Don't, one sec.
The dog's gone mad. Dog does not agree.
Did tell us about the dog in the inn.
Oh. Rooms for the night, you say? Would you be wanting common room or private rooms, my friends?
What are the prices?
The common room's pretty cheap. 7 pennies a night per person, but you are sleeping with a riffraff, of course. That's up on next floor, next to the map room. Actually, have you seen the map room?
What's the map room?
Everything you'd want to know about Altdorf.
I can't imagine you let too many riffraff stay here, madam.
Well,
you run a very fine inn.
Well, thank you very much, sir. You look of the rather you look of the sort that would rather have their own room, yes?
Perhaps I'm a little road weary, and fortunately, our last employer didn't exactly pay, so nothing too extravagant. But
one of those, eh? Took you for a bit of a steer, did they?
Indeed. But I certainly have means to pay for a modest room, perhaps.
No, well, I wasn't questioning that you didn't.
Yeah, I'll have a how big are the private rooms?
Well, we've got singles, doubles, triples, quadruples. Depends on your wants, needs, and desires. She says with a broad smile that seems out of place on this elderly lady.
Oh, I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
She says, well, I'm sure you don't. You do look like the sort that wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. So a single room would be 6 shillings a night. A double room would be 10 shillings a night, but it has to be double occupancy. Otherwise, it is not 12 shillings. A triple would be 15 shillings a night. Again, triple occupancy. Otherwise, you'll be paying 18 shillings. And of course, a quadruple, you know the story, 20 shillings a night for 4 of you, or 25 shillings for 1 of you.
How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us.
6 of us, yeah.
So we need a 4 and a double.
Or 2 threes.
Or 3 twos.
Now,
would you be
wanting single beds, double beds, triple beds, or quadruple beds?
Triple beds. Give me another day to get to meet some people around here, and we'll see how that goes.
Is that a room with 4 beds, or a room with a big bed that has 4 people?
Tell you when you're older.
Yes.
She looks at you, Ella, and she says, "Well, madam, that would be a room that would accommodate one of your size plus 3 other people in 1 bed."
Oh, okay.
Oh, you sound disappointed. Most people relish that thought.
I'll have a quadruple with I'll have a quadruple and cake and journey.
I'm sleeping on the fucking floor.
It just means it's bigger. It means we can be on either side of the. We don't have to be anywhere near each other. You can be on that side, and I'll be on the other side.
I mean, you can. Unfortunately, we do sell them for the 4 occupancy, so I would have to charge you 25 shillings for that room. Of course, if there's just 4 of you, I would charge you 20 shillings.
How about a few of us just double up?
Yeah, probably easier.
What you got in mind, Rembrandt?
What do you mean?
You're welcome to join me, Kay.
What? So I have 3 doubles.
Yes, we can do that. 3 doubles. 30 silver for the night, then.
But that doesn't mean that there was just less space.
I'm sure they're much more comfortable than what we've been used to on the road.
None of you are allergic to feathers, are you? Or down?
Damned if I know.
Allergic.
I know I'm not allergic to straw.
Just take my money.
So how much is it?
I'll happily hand over 5 shillings for my part.
30 silver for all 6 of you to have 3 double rooms.
Yeah, no,
Ella was past
5 silver
Ella.
there, isn't it?
Do you say 60 or 30?
It would be 5 silver each, effectively.
You said it was 2 silver for the horse.
Done
And
that.
2 silver for the horse, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
paid the 2
fine.
silver already.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute, everybody. Before you, Ella will pass over 30 shillings to the.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
Mm.
Ella pays the
Thank
full
you, thank you very much, Ella.
Thank
Um,
you. Is that
and
my
she kind of-
price list back on?
She
Someone
kind
I
of-
need to get you an ale.
She the food would probably be 4 shillings in total for all of you,
I'll pay for that then.
and that would probably be a couple of beers and the food. And she goes around the back and she kind of opens up a little cabinet with a key from inside her apron, and she kind of pulls out 4 keys, and the keys are this kind of size brass keys, each slightly different, with a bit of a chain and a big piece of wood about this big on it, with a bunch of scratchings on it.
Is that for the toilet?
No, sir. This is your room key. These are your 3 room keys.
Talking about what?
And,
We're not going to lose
basically,
them.
it'll say something like room 207, 208, and 209.
There's
Second
200.
floor?
There's 200 rooms in this place.
No, second floor.
Oh.
Each floor. So you go up to the second floor, and so what you have in the bottom is obviously you have the large common room. There is a set of doors at one end of the common room that several people have gone in. Pretty much, they are military people. A couple of them look like soldiers, but of necessarily no distinct insignia. So to Rembrandt and to a lesser extent, maybe Elgas' eyes, they would be more akin to mercenaries than allied to any one particular army or faction. And a bunch of adventurers have gone in through these double doors, and they all close them behind. And a couple of times when it's opened, smoke is kind of billowed out. It closed again. As you go up to the next floor,
As we're noticing that, I nudge Kay probably next to me if we're walking together, and I'll just say, "Oh, that's the competition for this job that's going on." Some of them look like mercenaries, and well, similar to us, really.
Yeah. The other end of the common room, there are 2 great hearths. There's one that is lit. It is sort of early spring, so there is a bit of a chill in the air, but this one at the far end is roaring. And there are sort of in a semicircle around it a bunch of benches, wing-back chairs, that kind of thing, with several people kind of sat in there in that area, and it's quite distinct and away from other tables and things. And there are people there reading, quietly whispering conversation, but all sort of sat in front of this really roaring fire. As you go up the first floor, before you kind of turn and then go up the second floor, you notice this is where there is a chamber off to one side that is
Toilet?
basically the door just for those of you who can read, it just says the silent room. And just beyond that is another set of double doors that says common room. You go up one more, and then opposite the silent room, it just says, so the other side of the silent room, the whole corridor up to the common room is just resplendent with maps. Various maps of various parts of Altdorf, from a high-level plan of Altdorf, which is what we see in Foundry, all the way down to individual sort of layouts of individual streets, individual districts. There's probably about 20 or so. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Like maps.
And then you go up, and on this floor, there seems to be one more floor above you, but on this floor, there are 5 rooms on one side, 5 rooms on the other, and a set of double doors at the end, which would be one of the quad rooms. And you've got sort of 7, 8, and 9 leading up to that door. Opening them up, they are big, certainly bigger than any sort of inn room that you've stayed in before. They are well furnished. There is a copper bath in every single room. There is like a copper freestanding bath, which you will be. Gertrude will tell you that if you want a bath, all you need to do is come down and request one. It'll take them about 45 minutes to fill it, but you can relax in it, and they will empty it when you're down in the common room having relaxation and refreshments.
You don't have to tell me twice.
And then there's a foot chest at the end of the bed. So if you're in a double room, there would be 2 foot chests. If you're in a quad, there'll be 4 foot chests, and then a bed and fit for the size, and a sort of a dressing table. And the beds are comfy. They're very soft. Pillows, blankets, all high quality linens, and very fluffy pillows that when you puff them, they kind of all sink in. And when one of you jumps on the bed and puts your muddy boots on it, you just kind of dip down a little bit in this bed. It gives, not like a straw bed that gives to the ground. It kind of gives and then just holds you there, and that's very nice.
Can we just talk quickly about the fact that Meddy's eating pizza and it's making me really hungry?
Sorry.
I just realised what he's doing. I looked at him like, well, he's kind of not eating it because he's sat there listening to it.
That description was brilliant.
Elgos, have you taught Planwin the word bath yet? You were teaching them.
Yeah, probably not. It's not something we've come across, really, is it?
Yeah, because I don't know what the word bath is.
But you can read.
Where you get hot water in that tub, Ella.
Yeah. You wouldn't know what
and you wash all the crap off that we've found in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I haven't come across that word before in anything I read before.
You might have been thrown into the river and to have a bath, but not know the actual physical object bath. It's got 2 different meanings.
So you
Depends
fill
on
something
context.
up with water and then get in it rather than just getting the river.
Yeah.
You've got it, and there's soap over there as well.
Soap? What's soap?
It's something that makes it easier for you to get clean.
Well, why would you want to get clean?
Some people don't like other people to have dirt. Look at all the nobility.
Ran's just kind of got his mouth half open, just like aghast. Like he looks like he might be about to try and explain, and then just shakes his head.
Oh, is that why they look squeaky?
Yeah, could be. Some of it's his makeup, though.
I mean,
Good questions, Ed. Those you said there was a load of people hanging around like a big roaring fire and stuff. Did they seem to be mingling at all, or was it like a definite private?
They're just keeping themselves to themselves.
Are we getting handouts of better maps? Because you said there's a map room.
No, sadly not.
I'm wondering if we should try and mingle with some of those characters and see what's going on in the city.
Well, when we go past the quiet room, I want to open it and just have a look inside, see what it is.
I thought you were going to shout really loudly.
There's 4 people on mobile phones yelling.
Is it a library type thing or just a sitting room?
It seems to be more of a mix of a library. There are a couple of shelves worth of books. But also there are a couple of people that seem to be in sort of some kind of meditation pose.
I thought it was a sensory deprivation room.
Okay.
Oh.
I actually take a look at that properly after.
Did you just put a thing on the thingy?
But you've got most of the rest of the evening to yourself in terms of what you may choose to do. This is, roughly speaking, this isn't great, this one. Sometimes the interpretation of what you're asking Night Cafe to do doesn't quite work. So that would be Jenny that you saw out in the street.
Just the
Looks
type
like
of
my
person
kind
you'd
of
see
gal.
outside. Yeah, type of person you'd meet in a rock club.
Was that AI generated?
Yeah,
Hmm.
good, isn't it? I just
Yeah.
didn't get the
I like the background.
I didn't get the description that I wanted it to do proper. I'd have to redo it, but it works.
Sorry, where did we see her?
That was the woman that you met in the square.
The one that
Oh,
sold the place to us, effectively.
It sold the place to you, yeah.
Or is she like one of those people that stands outside clubs and gets people to come in?
She's
Yeah.
bored, basically. She's very much the same profession as Kay,
yeah.
but
So I
she
think
does it in a different way. She's more attracting people into the establishment, not so much the way Kay works, which is finding networks of being able to move things from A to B at a cut for her.
yeah, but she probably knows people around. I would guess. See, if I'd seen that before, the whole introduction would have gone very different.
Yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd do that really quickly while I was listening to you ask questions.
Is she? Sorry, is she around? Zed? She's in the
She's
common
gone back outside. She's gone back out, but you could ask quietly. You know, you can ask the bar, and she always comes in for sort of final orders about 10 o'clock.
Okay, so she's gone back to where we met her.
Yeah.
Looking for business.
And apparently she'll be in about 10 minutes' time.
I'm going to ask the innkeep. Sorry, what was her name again? Gertrude.
Oh, no, Gertrude.
Does she know a good smith or the local parts? I might need some sword work doing.
Well, you're in Altdorf. Of course, there's plenty of smiths.
How about one that you would recommend, or that perhaps some of your other good patrons have used? I'm new to the city, and yes, I wouldn't like to be led astray.
Well, I would always recommend the handiwork of our good stout fellows. Ironbeard Forge comes to mind. Yes. Durgrim Ironbeard, don't mind his rather abrasive nature. He is very, very good with a hammer.
Good dwarf smith is always good to know. Thank you.
Yes.
Sid, I'm sorry, what was her name? The girl who we met in the square?
So her full name is Genevieve Nightshade.
That's a fishy sounding name.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like an assassin for hire.
Right.
It sounds like, but it's not. She's not. It just happens to be the name that she was given. I could have changed that name, really. I should have changed that name. Most of them call her Jenny, but with a G, so Genny. The owner of the inn is Frau Gertrude Helmgart.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're waiting for Jenny to come back, then I'm just going to kind of hang out at the bar, keeping an eye on the door, waiting for her to come back. Looking around, trying to gauge the room, see who's in, if there's anybody who might be of interest to me.
There are a couple of people that catch your attention. one in particular seems to be. Hold on. Seems to be sort of a middle-aged man, sat wearing a finely tailored suit, probably last season's attire. So probably just about dipping out of favour for those of the silver status today. So not kind of the gold status courtly attire that you might see in some of the inns that are closer to the seat of the empire, the emperor's castle. You've noticed that sort of every half hour or so. So you've been here for probably about 3 hours. Rembrandt, you're probably soaking in your bath at this point.
Excellent.
Ella is probably fast asleep with her hot water bottle at this point. Maybe not. Elgast is out the back with a pyre and three screaming children.
Ella's in the comfy bed.
I'll be out in the comic splats looking for
a nice relaxing evening.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah. Lanwin and Volkwin are probably playing craps.
Yes.
Yeah, Ella's got a headache at the moment.
Time of the month.
Well, that's too fast.
But what you've noticed, Kay, is this individual. He's sat in a corner. It's the only chair at the table. He has a small knapsack by the side of his seat and a small leather-bound book on his desk. And every so often you'll see him. He's looking around, and then he opens the page, and he seems to flick through the page of his book. He'll run his finger over it. He'll tap the thing a couple of times, close the book, stand up, walk, and as he walks through, he'll kind of nod and stop and have a couple of words with various people at tables. But he goes and sees different people, probably who have literally just arrived, sat down, got a pint, or got some food, and he'll have a conversation with them. In some instances, you'll notice that the person he's talking to will put a small pouch on the table, push it over. He will pick the pouch up, stash it inside his bag, go back to his desk, lean down, put the pouch inside the satchel.
He's a money lender.
He doesn't. Right, Kay, give me an insight roll.
No crows flying about because he's there reading a book. I'm just checking this. We're not going to get a repeat of the last time.
Hang on, just so we're clear, insight is D&D. We're playing.
Intuition.
We're not intuition, sort of.
My apologies. Yes, insight is D&D. Intuition.
Hang on, I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
For almost exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Doesn't have the air of a money lender. So could be a money lender, but doesn't have the air of a money lender that people are afraid of. He has the air of a money lender that people are happy to do business with.
Okay, can I grab my drink and another tankard, drag up a chair or a stool and go and sit at the table with this person and just say, busy night tonight?
He's kind of half looking through his book, and he kind of glances up at you and glances down and flicks a few pages and not in the book, not in the book, not in the book. You're not in the book.
I'm not in the book. I'm here to talk about the book, and I'll just push the other tankard over to give him a drink.
He looks at it. He looks at you. Don't drink. Not while I'm busy. But appreciate it. What do you want?
We just arrived in this town. We're trying to meet with some people, try and figure out if there's any business to be done, any people that we can help, any goods that need moving.
New, you say?
Fresh in.
Not tainted by the politics of Altdorf.
Not yet. Fresh and shiny.
Could I use you? Could I use you? Could I use you? Flicks through his book again. Taps it a couple of times. No. Nothing here for you, madam.
We've got some pretty interesting skills. We've done some mercenary work. We've done some escort work. We've moved some goods, some above board, some below board, some that ended up redecorating our friend over a tower.
Some overboard.
An eyebrow raises at that comment, but he doesn't really say anything. And
Ella was there. She'd be raising her eyebrow at the escort comment.
Not that kind of escort, Ella.
Well, business is in Altdorf, not really outside of Altdorf. Could I use you? Could I use you? Ah. Yes. Von Sternbrow.
Von Stormbrow.
Von Stormbrow. Yes.
Tell me.
Gellard von Sternbrow. My record here, well, apart from the fact that he owes me 2 gold crowns plus interest at 3% per day accruing. And he pauses for a second, kind of completely blanks you out, and he opens his book and he bends down and he pulls out a small thing of ink and a little pen. Scratch. 5 gold crowns. 5 GC, and then he puts the pen, the lid back, the stopper back on the thing, and he puts it back in his back. Oh, well, thank you. That was quite fortuitous, madam. Yes. Von Sternbrow, Gellard von Sternbrow, and I've got to write that down because I'm going to bloody forget it. I have it on good authority that he is looking for merchants that can move some goods down to Bogenhaven.
Oh, you know the road well. We've just been there.
Well, the road might be an option, though I'm not sure. You may need a barge.
Barges can be found and commandeered.
Exactly. 17 crate of Altdorf white.
Altdorf white, you say?
Yes.
Is that cheese or wine?
Good question. I need to double check.
I was thinking China white for drugs.
Don't actually have that bloody module, do I?
The finest Altdorf China white.
17 crates of cocaine.
Yes.
Wow.
Finally cut.
It's going to be wine because it's in crates, isn't it?
It's wine. Yes, it's wine.
Did you give us the name of the moneylender? Said
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your name, sir?
I'm sorry. I am remiss in my introduction. Yes, I'm. Call me Master Fairwind, Ludovic Fairwind.
Stop.
Ludwig Fairwind.
So yes, I believe Gellard, Master von Sternbrow. 17 barrels of Altdorf white at, I know what I was looking for. Take a 10-minute break. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
I can quickly find what I need then without delaying things too much.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
Down for a nice
Yeah.
whiskey.
Why did I should have known you were going to do this.
I mean, it's Kay. What else is she there for? She's to make a buck and look for networks.
Is to make a buck and look for network.
based on Latin, isn't it? And
It's
Greek or
based on
Latin
Germanic.
alphabet.
There's a lot of Germanic. There's French in it. There's all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! Did I just roll that?
Who's just died?
Just created chaos.
Yeah, there's a coven of witches in the basement.
Hmm.
That moment when you go for a 10-minute break and you have to reload the dishwasher.
Yeah.
That's slightly alarming.
Yeah.
I wasn't on about that. Sorry, I just briefly caught a news headline, which is EU to open membership talks with Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
It's a bit mad.
Wait,
Oh, are we all back?
we are.
No.
No, are we not?
Clearly not.
No, guy isn't.
Oh, guy isn't. And he's.
I was reading the other day that Hasbro are laying off tons and tons of people. They're not making much in the way of money
wait,
at all.
hang
So
on. Who?
Hasbro,
What the?
the people behind Dungeons and Dragons now, the owner.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's 'cause
guys,
you're
make
having
that-
license, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that going to affect D&D then?
don't know.
They've laid off. They've laid off 1,100 people.
Whoa.
Wow.
The only name that really jumped out at me was Mike Merles, but
Really?
he's no longer related to D&D. He's been doing Magic for the last couple of years.
Oh.
Well, that's where most of their money's coming from, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
don't they own Magic the Gathering, don't they?
Correct.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering, loads of other things like Transformers, GI Joe, all those type of things, because they were trying to merge them all into one shared universe type thing at one point. Whether that's what happened now, I don't know.
No.
Do they own the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No, that's Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they shot themselves in the foot when they tried to steal everybody's money.
Hasbro's He-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And Pokemon.
I didn't realise that Pokemon. I thought that was an actual
Wow.
Japanese film that had that.
That's a Christmassy jumper. I never noticed the Christmas jumper before you walked over.
Is that Star Wars?
It is Star
Yeah.
Wars, yeah.
I saw the
See,
X-Wings on the Death Star.
your background's cut. Your background's messing it up.
Yeah, the my Christmas jumper, my Darth Vader one, I am your father Christmas.
I wish you could
Yeah.
have.
It's gone
Wish you
missing.
could buy. Wish you could buy Christmas T-shirts because I don't wear
You can.
jumpers.
Yeah.
You can.
The best Christmas jumper I've seen so far this Christmas was a guy rocked up to our Christmas party last Thursday in just a plain green jumper that just said Christmas jumper on it.
I have one Christmas T-shirt, and it was only because I got a freebie from what was that? Jinx, the clothes place. They used to do well, God know this. They did memorabilia and T-shirts for Blizzard.
Yes,
Okay,
because it's my Murloc.
Are we back? We're back.
Yep.
So Ludovic looks at his book and he sort of taps and he says, "Yes, Herr von Sternbrow, 17 barrels of Altdorf White to Bogenhaven, 10 days." Yes, there would be a 10 gold crown shipment fee. It's been paid for. and he kind of goes into his bag and he pulls out like another sort of leather-bound set of loose papers, and he kind of flips it over and he pulls his pen out and he says, "Are you prepared to accept this?" What's the word he would use?
Contract?
Yeah, contract. Yeah, probably contract. Yeah,
Who's with me here? Is it just me?
you at the moment.
I think Rembrandt might have finished his bath by now.
He's walked down wearing his towel.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
don't walk in straight from the bath, whatever you do.
Like this.
No, he's still got a shield and sword though.
And 100,
Yeah, yeah.
100 women in the inn just go, ah.
It's not a sword.
You hear the
Oh,
ovaries
shit.
pulsating.
Oh,
Is that
really?
a sword in your scabbard, or are you just pleased to see me?
I think at this point you're probably on your own.
Okay, then I'd probably want to go back and check with the group, check in with the group first.
He will explain to you that the transaction has already been teed up. There is a buyer at Bogenhaven who will buy the entire shipment for 110 gold crowns. There is a small profit, but there is a fee to anybody who can take the shipment of 10%, which means you would be able to keep 10 gold pieces from the money that you would gain.
Wait, so we'll be transporting the gold back?
There will be an address, which is a legal office in Bogenhaven, where you would deposit the money. Probably a bank, actually, in Bogenhaven, where you would go and you would deposit the money into a specific account, which would then consider the transaction done, and you would be able to keep 10 gold crowns of that money.
Where is Bogenhoven anyway?
South.
We went through it.
Just on the road.
Well, you take the canal and then the bogan.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
what?
The Bogan.
Canal. And
In
then
traditional-
follow the bogan upriver.
It's the river Bogan.
In traditional me style, I've completely forgotten what we're in Altdorf to do, so I need to speak to the group to find out whether this is a good idea or not.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be looking for that
Crown Prince.
Crown Prince of Ulsterland. Because he wanted some adventurers to go into the Grey Mountains, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Yep.
Well, if I'm correct, the Grey Mountains are on, past Bogenhafen. We probably haven't traveled past there.
Well, the Grey Mountains are right next to where Obisorg is.
They are south. So you went to the Grey Mountains, or the edge of the Grey Mountains, which was where that big tower was that blew up. But the Grey Mountains are a massive expanse. I mean, they run the whole. If you look at the look at the map, all this whole thing, this range of mountains, to the are the Grey Mountains.
Yeah, it separates the Empire from the Elven Forest.
Yeah.
Okay. So it could probably be on our way to accomplish that task.
Yes.
I can't find Bogenhaven on the map.
So what do we think, folks? Is it on our way? Should we be taking it?
Wait.
Taking the job?
Wait, hang on. We went through Bogenhaven to get to Outdoor.
Yeah. It was about halfway along.
Yes, you did.
So
You did.
it's only like 2 or 3 days away from where we are now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was stop number 6.
Yeah.
What do we think, folks?
I'm going to ask my friend Caster's Lieberung here. Who
Wait,
like,
don't we
perhaps
need to find? Don't we need to talk to the Grand Prince first?
Well,
I don't think we're doing that tonight, Alan.
Well, no, not tonight, but tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm out in the Königsplatz trying to find any more notices about Crown Prince's thing as to where to get further information and things, because there'll be notices up there as well, I would guess.
Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, I can go back.
It sounds nice, easy 10 gold, but then we've got to get the barge to transport it, and that's going to cost money. So it's how many gold that's going to cost. That's going to eat into the profits of us transporting it. I mean, I'm spinning this from the fact that I know how much it costs to send a letter to somewhere or a parcel to somewhere.
Right, but if we think the barge is going to cost 2 gold crowns to hire or whatever, I can go back and ask for more money to cover additional costs.
If depending on where we're going, let's take a look. Could we buy a barge for carrying on the journey? Does it go to the
Not, not for that many gold crowns, we
No.
can't.
No.
I've
That's what I
seen
mean.
the
I
price
don't
of
know.
a horse. It's like the barge is going to be a little bit more.
Hang on, I keep throwing beer all over my desk. Hold on.
That's careless.
Yeah, don't throw beer on your desk.
We need to find out how much it would be to hire a place and a barge.
Well, place and for 17 crates of Altdorf White.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the
2
crates
horses.
wouldn't be that big, to be fair. I mean, that's just... Say there's, 6 bottles in a crate.
Zed, would we have any idea how much it would cost to get a barge, roughly, in this neck of the woods?
Guy,
Trying
are
to
you a
look.
massive Star Wars?
225 gold to buy one.
Well, we're not going to buy one. That's not going to happen.
Rowboats is 6 gold. Buy.
What page is that on?
Did you hear what I said?
306.
6, thanks. Are you a big fan of Star Wars?
No, I said he's a big Star Wars nerd.
Isn't everyone?
I am a gigantic Star Wars nerd. Yes.
Cool.
That question doesn't quite compute because everyone is, aren't they?
No, some people are Star Trek.
Oh no, I met somebody that didn't think Star Wars was very good.
I met somebody who doesn't
And you
even
shunned
had
them.
never even watched Star Wars once.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember
Point them
back
at
in the day.
psychiatrist?
You remember I used to work for Activision a million
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
So they did the distribution for LucasArts
They did
back in the day, the LucasArts
Oh,
games.
I miss Locus.
So I used to go out to the Lucas Ranch regularly with journalists, and I got
Skywalker?
stuck at the ranch for 2
Oh,
weeks during 9/11.
I remember
Wow.
saying that story. Yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, I remember reading the PC Zone, and you were actually mentioned in their very last issue. Because they
Was
were
I?
talking.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, because they were talking about all of things that their different writers had happened, and he said he remembers 9/11, and you and he were in a hotel somewhere.
Mm.
when
The Embassy
9/11
Suites in Sausalito. Anyway, I digress.
So to buy one, it's that price. So to
We're not
rent
buying
one,
it.
to rent one's not going to be that expensive.
Well, we wouldn't rent a whole
We
barge.
don't need a
just
whole
for us.
barge, right?
No,
We just need.
Yeah, we need to
Where-
find a barge to go to Bogenhafen and rent some.
Depending
space.
on if someone's got guards or not, we might even be able to negotiate some kind of decent.
Where are you putting this information?
Where's who putting what information?
You said it was going to cost something or other.
It's from the book.
Oh,
I'm just trying to find if it lists
Services.
costs.
Yeah, I can't find anything with services on it.
I reckon it'd be like 1 copper piece.
I don't think it'd be 1 copper piece.
Oh, go on, 2 then.
I know you'd like it to be 1 copper piece, but I don't think so. It'll be in one of my books. I'll have a look.
We're talking a cup of gold.
But yeah, it's probably a couple of gold.
Okay. All right. So, do we feel this is a good idea, folks?
Well, if we're going to make 8 gold, if it's a couple of gold to get the wine there, 8 gold for 10 days doesn't. Well,
We're heading
We're
in
going
that
that way
direction anyway.
anyway, right?
but we don't.
Oh,
we don't
right,
head that
why-
direction yet because we've not spoke to the Crown Prince.
why do we want
Yeah.
to go to Borgenhafen anyway? I thought you
We're,
wanted.
we're being asked
No.
to transport some goods for a fee.
But we've also got stuff to do here.
Yep, we've got 10 days to do it. It's about a 3-day journey or less.
Oh.
Also, the Crown Prince is advertising for adventurers for a what would you call it? A
Going south, yeah, but we
campaign into the Grey Mountains.
We've got to talk to him first. No point just.
Okay, but 10 days to do this, 3 days to travel. That gives us 7 days in hand.
Okay.
How many
And
brass pennies to a silver penny?
20,
Silver
isn't
shilling?
it?
3.
Either 10 or 12, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
12, I think it is. It says on the thing, doesn't it?
Okay, Ella's gonna leave you to it
12.
because she needs to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
It will cost you, roughly speaking, 35 silver.
Each, or is that party?
For cargo space, and then a further 35 silver each to travel on the barge.
Each.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to cost
That's
more
like
than it will
almost
be.
two
Than you'll get.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hang on, we won't get the horses on there, so they could ride along beside the barges. Don't move fast, right?
You could ride on them, but you wouldn't be able to follow the path.
Yeah, because once it hits the river, it'll be dropping off everywhere, won't it?
Well,
Yeah.
the roads
Forest.
pretty much run the length of the canal and river. So.
Yeah, I mean it runs literally right next to it.
Oh, does it?
But I'd have to run next to the canal, otherwise you're not going to move the barges. They're likely pulled by horse.
Or there are
They're
there
not.
could be sailing
They're
barges.
sailed barges. A lot of them. Some are pulled by horses, yes, but a lot of them are sail barges.
Yeah, actually, looking at it, there's the Weisbrook Canal that runs out of Altdorf. So
But that's my point. The canal,
Yeah.
a lot of that will be horse pulled.
And then
Yeah.
it's Weisbrook down all the way down to Bogenhafen that we'd have to, which doesn't have a road next to it. Oh no, there is a road
Does,
next to it. Or at least
north of the Borgen, north of the Bogen there is.
Yeah,
Tross route and then south.
I mean, it doesn't mean we won't necessarily be like together for bits of it. You know, where there's a
just
tributary or
It
something
just
that we
seems
have to
for
cross.
10 gold. We
Yeah.
seem to be paying a lot of money out. In my mind, I think we're paying more than what we're
Well,
gonna
I mean,
get.
that's not the goal, right? If we would have to go back with a counter offer. All I'm thinking is, if we're going that way anyway, can we make a buck out of it? If the answer is no, then we don't do it.
Did you say
But-
35 silver each to ride on it, or for the party?
It is so the general price is the general price is 2 pennies per mile per person on the deck, or 5 pennies per mile per person in a cabin.
But we could also provide protection services.
There are things that you can offer to reduce the price.
Yeah. And we could always ask around to see if there are anything else that needs to be done.
That's true. Get some small stuff to take down to Bogenhafen if somebody wants it taken. I can get some
Like
messages.
some grenades or warpstone or
Stuff like that. Should we pop to the College of Magic first?
So, are you thinking now? I will stress this again. This particular deal, there is no room for negotiation. The deal has already been done.
yeah. Well, in that case, it's not a good deal for us.
Then you say no.
Yeah, we don't have to take it. It's not a carrot dangled. It's just a job, isn't it?
It's just a job.
Just a job,
Just a job.
which we're not going to lose money on, clearly. But again, I can go back and push him, see if we can get more money.
Well,
Has anybody
sounds
done
like
the
you
maths?
can't, because like it's just been said, it's the deal's been done. The price is set.
There's always room for negotiation.
I'll let you go and play with that, Kay.
No, I don't think I will.
Well, it's there.
Okay.
He'll be there for the Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's shop around. If anything else comes up, we can maybe add things up to a bigger deal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've just got this crate of spirits to offload, so let's see what we get out of that as well.
Okay.
And I can also get some, like I said, messages from the messages master here, and take them down to Bergenhafen as well.
Do you have a price for what the value of those spirits were?
There's what, sorry?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we did.
I have a price.
I can't remember because I wrote down wine, Altdorf, crate of spirits.
Yeah.
I must go back and listen to that episode. Episode 20 it was.
You don't have to go back.
Oh, hang on. It wasn't episode 20. I don't think it's earlier than that.
Yeah, well, I've worked that out right. Not counting me and Rembrandt's because we were in horses, it would cost 8.5 gold to get there
Mm-hmm.
with the things and riding. So
Mm.
yeah, you wouldn't make anything out of it.
No, not worth it. As I said, unless we can find something else to add into it.
Yeah. It would pay for a single person, but for a party, no.
We could send Ella.
Huh? What?
What, huh?
Okay. The rest of the evening passes quietly, uneventfully. You turn in for the night.
Did I find any notices regarding the Crown Prince in the square? Next month?
There are several notices that resemble the flyer that you found previously. The one thing you'll notice is that many of them have had other flyers stuck over top of them.
Right. Nothing giving more information as to where to go to accept this.
No.
Okay.
It's what,
That's basically
what
what I was looking for.
yeah, what was stated on that flyer.
Right, okay.
His residence is basically in Altdorf. Okay. The following morning, you rise, having had a very, very good sleep. Probably the best sleep you've had in quite some time. Certainly, the beds are good. The pillows are divine. The temperature of the rooms just seemed good. The sheets are clean and just smell fresh. Beautiful. You wake, even at this level, you can smell the cooking, the smell of cooking sausages and bacon and freshly baked bread wafting through the rafters of the inn.
Rembrandt's going to get up bright and early and head to the smith before breakfast.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll probably be floating downstairs with those smells for breakfast.
I need to get my sword put back in good order.
The smith is
Speak.
located again close to the city walls, on the edge of the mercantile area. Gertrude would give you rough directions. She knows of him. She knows roughly where he is. Beyond that, if you want actual directions, then talking to Jenny will get you those actual directions.
Is she around or?
Yeah, she'll be eating breakfast quietly in the corner.
Ella would like to know where she can buy a really good hat.
A really good hat. Ooh.
Well, you want one like mine?
No, bigger.
Okay. You'll have to really duck
With
through
a
doors.
really big feather in it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's going to be expensive. All right. So you follow the directions, Rembrandt, and you end up in a sort of an area where there are probably a half dozen forges of different kinds. Weaponsmiths, generic blacksmiths, armor smiths. Ironbeard Forge is a generic blacksmith. Doesn't seem to specialize in any one particular thing. It is a single-story building, a small kind of hut at one end, made out of brick, stonework more than brick. A forge, slightly undercover, big chimney rising up, belching smoke. And even at this kind of time in the morning, just sort of after 7 o'clock, there is a bright red fire. And as you approach, there's that hammering of hammer on metal. Hard at work. As you kind of walk into the area, you can see there are probably 4 other dwarves scurrying around, some quenching, some kind of working on metal, but all kind of hard at it, and sort of stood in the middle of this lot with his arms kind of on his hips is this kind of older, gruff-looking dwarf, slightly scarred down one side, so kind of his beard doesn't fully grow all the way around, where he's got this scarring down one side of his face and a big, burnt off, sort of angry, burnt red ear kind of sticking under this kind of leather skull cap that he's wearing. Big, thick leather apron, tucked into the leather apron pocket would be a pair of very thick leather gloves. As the kind of the door into the kind of the courtyard where all this activity is taking place, it opens. There is a small, slightly out of place sounding bell that kind of goes ding ding, and he kind of glances over his shoulder. Early for human folk.
It's true, but not for your folk, and it's you, Master Dwarf, I seek, I think.
Well, what can I do? What do you need?
I will pull out my sword, not in a threatening manner.
I've
come to kill you.
Grab tongs
Right, little
hammer.
fella, show me to your master.
Yeah, you proffer it in that peaceful way, and he kind of grabs it off you a little bit unceremoniously, and he looks at it and he goes, "Yeah, shit, not made by dwarves. God, what have you done to this?" And he kind of turns it around and he looks at it, and the next thing you know, he kind of takes it over to a bench and he lays it, he clamps it in a couple of vices, and he pulls out a pair of sort of those those glasses with many lenses, and he flips a couple of lenses and he stares at it, and he gets out a little tiny hammer and he taps around and he's like,
"The steel's not bad for human work. Not a touch on your work, I'm sure."
"Wow, not bad. I suppose I'll give it that. Heirloom?"
Not as such, no. But I've had it a while. It's done me well. Saved my neck a few times.
Attached to it then.
Unless you've got better wares that are within my budget, Master Dwarf.
You named it?
No.
That's your problem. You humans never name your blades. You just swing them and hope for the best. Well, it's fixable. Take me a couple of days. Do you have that long?
I'm not sure at this point, but kind of rubbing my beard, looking a little bit pensive. There's no chance you could do it a little quicker. Might have some work that may take me south soon.
takes it out of the thing, and he kind of takes the glasses off, puts them to one side, and kind of balances it in one hand and swings a couple of times at it. Not unsurprisingly, he swings it quite deftly. You know, the size of him versus the size of your blade doesn't phase him at all, and he's look, I can get it back. I can get it back to nearly good as new. Bit of patchwork. I could do that today. Might not hold out for long, but I can do it.
Is Ella with you, by the way?
No, he's on his own.
So do you have any other blades in stock? Maybe I need one with a name.
Well, I can.
Oh, what about? Is there anything else actually on the shelves?
There are a number of blades of different kinds. To be fair, he favors axes, and every axe that you see does seem to have some, whether it's in the haft or in the edge of the blade. There are fine sort of filigree dwarven runes in them.
Fine axes.
Well, that's my speciality.
Are they just hand weapons of various kinds?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes. They are just hand weapons of various kinds. However, each of them has sort of little quirks about them.
All right.
So, for instance, he kind of says, "Well," he pulls one of the axes down, and he kind of it's a biggish axe, probably certainly a good sort of war axe, like one-handed war axe size, the kind of thing that you would see many of the followers of who's the wolf god?
Ulrich?
Ulrich, yeah, that's the one.
The kind of thing that followers of Ulrich would favour. That kind of style, but definitely dwarven style. So it would normally cost a gold crown. So that's, and it passes one to you, and
We'll give it a good heft. And
well, the first thing is, I mean, it's perfectly balanced. There's almost no weight to it. So in terms of carrying capacity, this is a lightweight weapon. So it has one less encumbrance, which means from a carrying perspective, its encumbrance counts as 0.
it's very good.
So that's one. He gives you another one that is sort of, one side has the classic axe shape, the other side has a really broad, sort of almost like a flat hammerhead. So
Oh, that's
this
interesting.
one has the pummel quality. I've got to remember how this works, because it does increase the cost. But it is yes. So it would count as a normal hand weapon, but it would have the pummel quality, and each quality. I'm just having a look. That's bartering ratios. I think each quality doubles the price, I think, from memory. So yeah, so he turns around and says, "All right, well, that's one of the things I can offer you. Or," and he again he sort of pulls a different one out and hands that one to you. And you notice that this one, when you look at the blade, it is folded steel, like the Japanese.
That patternation, yeah.
Yeah. Says, "This one, I take it you got that thing parrying and protecting your skin, yeah?"
I can't remember what I hit with it. What did I hit with it again?
I think you actually fumbled, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You hit the side of a bar.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
one-
there's a story attached to that one, but yeah.
yeah. Well, look, this one will give you a little bit more durability when you're using it to protect yourself. So basically, you've got a lightweight option, you've got a durable option, or you've got a one with a pummel.
It is double.
Okay.
I've just checked.
Apologies, I'm just going to have to quickly dash my little ones.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice. But thank you. I'll have a think.
Yeah, no worries. What was that, Kath? Is it double?
It is double. For each quality, it doubles the price.
Where does it? What page is that on for me?
292 item qualities. Trapping is called quality.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Trapping.
Yeah, I can see that literally on the page that I was looking at.
Yeah.
I thought I read it was that. So yeah, so those are the options. So each of those would be roughly 2 gold crowns before negotiation.
Yeah.
All right, Rembrandt's doing that. Ella, are you going to go off shopping on your own? Are you going to go before breakfast, after breakfast?
After breakfast.
On your own?
I don't know if anyone wants to come with me. I don't want to go shopping.
Okay. And you're looking for a hat?
Yep.
Okay. What kind of hat?
A nice wide brim one with a big feather.
Wide brimmed hat with a big feather. Okay. Do you want expensive or just average? Height of fashion or last year's fashion?
Height of fashion.
Height of fashion. Okay. So you ask, or actually, you'd probably ask Jen. Well, you go and talk to Gertrude, and she just kind of clicks her tongue in her teeth, and she says, "Go talk to Jenny," and points to Genevieve. You explain what you want to Jenny, and she smiles. And well, Miss Blatt, you need the velvet weave tailors. Lovely elven lady, Isabella Verlaine. She'll do you right. Latest fashions. Very elegant. Can you read?
Yes.
So she gets a piece of parchment and she writes an address for you and she hands it to you. There you go.
Okay. Off I go.
Traveling through the merchants district, you follow the instructions and you kind of come to an area where the majority of the shops are fashion related. Shoe shops, tailors, weavers, seamstresses, dry cleaners. And you follow the instructions, and sort of in the heart of this cluster of shops, it's probably not too big. There's probably 24 shops of this kind. You see a 2-story building, a facade adorned in rich burgundy and gold. The window is top to bottom of very well laid out display of really high quality materials, silks, satins, woolen material, and adorned sort of in this burgundy and gold, sort of a burgundy background, gold writing. It says Velvet Weave Tailors.
Wow. I don't think I've ever done anything like that before.
At this point, I'm visualizing Pretty Woman shopping spree.
Yeah.
Going to go in, or are you feeling too intimidated?
I'll go in.
Okay. Inside, it's not quite what you were expecting. There are a number of well-placed sort of small windows positioned to allow light to reflect and refract off various coloured gems and other kind of cloths and things to kind of create this very soft ambient lighting that really accentuates the dresses, the hats, the fabrics and things that are on display, and all around. As you walk in, you immediately catch yourself in a mirror, and you kind of realize, you look at yourself in that mirror for a brief second, and you kind of think, I'm not quite in the right place here, because everything around you is just stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. You get this sense of refinement and sophistication, sense of lavender kind of wafting through the air.
Okay, I think this place is a bit too high class for me.
And before you can turn, a woman kind of glides out from behind a couple of displays. A very well dressed, well coiffured hairstyle, kind of a tight bun, kind of comes over to you, and those distinctive elven features kind of just add to that grace. She smiles. Madame, how may I help you? Welcome to the Velvet Weave. Isabella Verlaine at your service.
I'll just say I was sent here by what's her name?
Genevieve.
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny. Because I was looking to buy a new hat.
Madame Genevieve certainly knows the right places to go. A hat, you say?
Yes.
Do you have anything in mind? And as she says that, she rests her hand on your elbow and immediately starts to guide you towards a part of her establishment.
Oh, I thought she was guiding me to the door. Well, I would say like a pirate hat, but that's not what they're called.
A tricorn hat, or just a
wide-brimmed hat with a big feather in it.
Like
Sword
what Errol
buckler.
Flynn, Errol Flynn used to wear.
What colour did Madam have in mind?
Oh, I was going to go for red.
Red?
Yeah, crimson.
Do you want it to be vibrant red, or do you want it to be a subdued red?
Blood red.
And the feather, do you want the feather to accentuate? To clash? Clashing is kind of a thing at the moment from some of the courtiers.
Yeah, feather can clash, but I want the hat blood red.
Blood red? I like your description. Well, let's have a look what we've got. And she kind of, let's say, she steers you through kind of
scarlet.
Yeah, a display of some fabrics into part of the shop where, again, there are mirrors adorned mostly at head height, and there are probably 2 walls, pretty much floor to ceiling, full of hats. There's a section for men's hats and a section for women's hats. Does she have your exact requirement?
Probably a bit more interested in men's hats.
You kind of, you're drawn. Well, she kind of, as you kind of look at the men's hats, she just places her hand on your chin and she gently pushes it to the women's, and she points to like the 4th row across, the 8th thing up, and there is a not quite blood red, not quite crimson, a slightly darker red with a magnificent sky blue feather jutting out. And she kind of goes over and she reaches, she gets a small kind of cane with a bulb, kind of bulbous head on, and she kind of picks it, pulls it, puts it down, and she kind of takes it. She smiles. I think this will bring out your complexion perfectly. May I?
Yes, you may.
She kind of places it on your head, tilts it a little bit, and she turns you to look into one of the mirrors.
And I see something burst out of the mirror.
I mean, if you want something to burst out the mirror, I can make it happen.
No, it's like
You see, it's a very nice hat.
Is it
It's
better than?
probably silk around a like a
Is it
a
better than quality than Rembrandt?
Is it better quality than Rembrandt? Rembrandt doesn't. Was Rembrandt?
I don't wear a hat.
It is better quality than
I wear a hat.
It's
I
better
do.
quality than Elgas, because Elgas is functional and designed for one thing and one thing only. I am a witch hunter.
Yeah.
Oh right, I thought knights get a hat.
Helmet, probably. You've got something with a feather you
It's got
mentioned,
a
didn't
helmet
you?
with
I've got
a
a helmet.
plume. You got plume, haven't you? That's right.
Yeah.
I've got a separate plume and I have a helmet.
It has a
Yeah, that's
helmet
right.
with a plume on it.
More
Oh.
importantly, Ella, what school has it told you you're going to
Detachable.
join?
School?
Yeah, is it Slytherin?
No. What? Oh, I saw that.
No, madam, I have to say that does look very fetching on you. If I may be so bold, madam could do the haircut. You have a number of split ends here.
Oh,
And madam, is this for a courtly appearance?
no, practical.
Practical. Well, it would certainly stand up to practical use. She kind of takes a step back
As long
she
as it
kind
can fit over the top of my leather helm.
of, it won't do that.
Yeah. I'll have to take off. I'll have to change it when circumstances happen. Is
Yeah.
it foldable? Can I fold
No,
it and put it in my pocket?
it is rigid. It is definitely not foldable.
I'll just have to hook it over my belt when I'm not using it.
I have to say, it certainly suits you. I'm just wondering. And she looks at you again. Do you ever wear dresses, madam?
Nope.
Well, I think a good dress would bring out your complexion.
Yeah, but they get muddy.
Well, I suppose they get muddy if you go romping through fields. You're not romping through fields, are you?
Yeah, I'm quite a lot.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to be. I'm not. I've never worn a dress, so I always wear trousers.
Mm. So, you wear trousers to court?
Oh, I don't go to court.
Oh, surprises me.
Really?
Well, yes, I thought you were the courtly type when you walked in. Never mind. The hat, then.
How much?
5 shilling.
How much? 5 shilling.
Yes.
I thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I thought we were on that as well.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
All right, I give her 5 shillings
Oh, thank you very much.
and
it-
an extra 1 shilling.
Oh. Well, thank you, madam. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Please, if you have any need for courtly garb or a dress for a fine occasion, please do return to the Velvet Weaves. What do you call it? The Velvet Weave Tailors.
Yeah,
I'll be more than happy to cater for your every need.
thank you. And I head back to the
Before you go, do you have a certain gentleman in your life that you wish to impress?
No.
Are you sure? A certain person that you wish to impress?
Oh, person, yes.
Well, maybe you could try this. And she kind of, again, arm and elbow, and she steers you to another part of the shop. And you look at what you think they're items of clothing. But even if you wear them, they're not gonna hide much. That kind of really fine chiffon kind of see-through.
the finest armor in the lands.
finest armor.
How's that
In
going to
the-
block a sword thrust?
Depends what type of sword you're talking about.
Ready. Boy.
Adam. Well, if you're trying to woo that special somebody in your life, these are some of my best work. Fine elven silk. Now, I have to admit they're a little bit more expensive, but I've never met a man or woman be able to resist a client wearing such a garment.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Of course. If you're in need, we can do almost anything that you wish.
Okay. And I will leave that there.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm sorry.
Rembrandt made a decision?
Me getting a hat.
Sorry, remind me what the qualities were again. One was
So you've
pummel.
got one that's got pummel, one that's durable, and one that is lightweight. And it effectively doubles the cost. So they're all approximately 2 gold before you start bartering.
Is that an axe that comes with hack and unbalanced? Standard.
How many silver and a gold coin?
20, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
Is that an axe? Hang on. Different book. Different book. Different book. Different book. Okay.
But if it's just a hand weapon, normally that's fine as well. But an axe in the
Up in arms.
arms, yeah.
I'm just having a look. So I suspect that's going to be more expensive.
You said it was 5 shillings.
No, it's 10 silver, I think.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, for an axe.
No, I meant the hat was 5, right?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
really
Yes, it
bizarre.
is.
Take the money out of my account.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find it in here. So, a basic hand weapon, an axe that is with hack and unbalance, is indeed. Why would you ever buy a sword?
Balanced is not great on the defensive.
Oh, is unbalanced a
It's a
flaw,
penalty?
It's
Yeah,
a
it's a-
minus one success. Essentially, it's the opposite of defensive.
Okay.
But basically,
So-
they balance out, so they should still be the same as a
So
hand
what
weapon.
I would say is these particular weapons that he's offering you have the is it unbalanced the floor?
It is, yes.
Has the unbalanced floor removed?
Wow, that would be very interesting then.
So let me just make sure I've not just offered you something that is going to be stupidly overpowered.
Essentially, it's just like an axe, but without the defensive penalty, right?
Which, if you bought a hand weapon, typically what I'm suggesting is a straight up hand weapon without the hack, but the other. What does hack give you?
This is, as I said, this is what I hate about these books. They're all over the show.
Hacking weapons have heavy blades that can hack through armor with horrific ease. If you hit an opponent, you damage a struck piece of armor or shield by 1 point, as well as wounding the target. So that's
pretty good.
That's pretty good. So unbalanced would be not there.
Balanced is in the other book.
Yeah, got it.
Of course. Yeah, so essentially it's a -1 success level to your roll on a parry with that weapon.
Okay. So hack with no unbalance would be 20 shillings. And hack plus one of those other options would be 30 shillings.
Ooh. I would like
Unless
might be double again. Might
so probably 40
Just
shillings.
40.
So it would be effectively 2 gold to have hack plus
I'd be very interested in that, yes.
Yeah.
So was it durable or pummel?
Durable, pummel, or lightweight?
Lightweight would be good.
Yeah.
So an axe with no unbalanced and lightweight would be 2 gold crowns.
And would be 2 gold crowns. Yes.
Happily pay that.
Yeah.
Yeah, happily pay that. And
let me build that quickly for you then. It has a name. It has a name in dwarven runes etched on it, so you can decide what it's called.
Oh, wicked. I'll have a think about that. Daffodil. That'd be awesome. I'll say if I can take that away today, and I'll obviously pay you today, and I'll leave my sword in your good care to sort out properly as well.
Ah, yes. The sword repair will be a further 10 shillings.
Ooh. Pricey. Isn't it normally 10% of the item value?
10%.
1 point. I think that's how it works.
Okay, so it'd be 1 gold.
Two shillings?
2 shillings. Yeah, it'd be 2 shillings. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if it's that, yeah, it'd be 2 shillings.
I'll happily hand the money over.
Okay, right. Let me change this to right.
I've got a sidearm now.
So
that's chaos.
Now I need to get dual wield. Shit.
Right. We remove the unbalanced.
Get some dwarven tattoos and become a slayer.
I can choose dual wielder now as one of my talents.
Pistols. You need some new pistols and a new hand.
Yeah. Well, my hand's back to normal now. Funny enough, I rested earlier on before you came on, and the skill check for resting to healing was opposed by you. You healed me and injured me, so obviously it thinks that you tried to kill me in my sleep as well, by the sounds of things.
You'll notice, Evil, you'll notice on your character sheet you have an axe custom.
Oh, I do. Lovely. Thank you.
And that has the lightweight, hack, and the unbalanced removed. The only thing I should do is adjust that price to that, and it goes to
40 shillings or 2 gold coins. Is that right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 2 gold coins. But it also goes to, I believe it goes to rare. Because for
Very nice.
each change that you add to it, it increases the difficulty by 1. So removing unbalance, adding takes it to rare. Yes. So there you go. That is done. And then
Fantastic.
if you want,
I've knocked the gold off and the repair. So is it a couple of days? He said. So if I can come back in a couple of days, otherwise,
yeah,
I guess I'll maybe see him in sometime I get back to Altdorf.
yeah. All right. Anybody else want to do anything?
Well, I would like to have breakfast and then get rid of this creative spirits. But I'd also like to take Kay, if she's willing, for a bit of assistance, because me and this haggling thing ain't no good.
Can do that.
All right. Where are you going to look? Again, you're on the edge of the merchants' quarters. The merchants.
I'm going to take a leaf out of Ella's book and talk to Jenny.
Okay.
And I'll let her have a look at one of the bottles out of this crate. Just say, so what do you think? What do you think of these?
She looks at them and pulls one out. She kind of turns it over, a bit nondescript. Well, if I was a betting woman, you're not going to get a lot for these.
Really? Pray tell why, miss.
Well, no label.
Aye.
Dark brown bottle.
I see where you're coming from here.
And she turns it upside down and dimple in the bottom.
Yeah.
I bet if we were to open it, it would have a slight I wouldn't say vinegary smell, but it'll have a slight sort of
Yeah.
yes. I think this is what people in the trade would call passable. The kind of thing that drunkards would drink till their heart's content to further get drunk.
Oh, come now, you do us a disservice. We wouldn't come here with that kind of rubbish. Clearly, you're a person of taste. We came to the right person, thinking that we could trade fairly.
Oh, well, I'm not planning on buying them. Your friend here just asked me for my advice. This is Jenny back in the bar.
Oh, right,
I think. How many of these have you got?
It was just a box, wasn't it? A crate.
Right.
Yeah, crate of spirits.
Let's call it 8 then. Well, I think I wouldn't settle for less than 8 gold crowns, so a gold crown a bottle. You may be able to push to 10 if you're really lucky. Push to 12, but I don't. If you can get more than 12, then obviously take it. But I think you would be realistically looking at 8 gold crowns for the crate.
And where do you think we could sell them for 10 to 12 if we could?
Well, you could try. You could try Ernst's place, Vintner's Haven.
Where might we find that?
Do either of you read?
We have somebody in the group that could help.
sadly missed. Even though my job requires, sometimes I don't.
Well, and again, piece of paper, parchment, writes an address, and she hands it over to you. Again, it's tucked away in the merchant's quarters.
Thank you, Miss Ginny. That's really helpful.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go and sell that now, Landman? What do you want to...
I think we should, Kay. But I do believe we need to find out where this place is. I can't read these crow scratchings. And I know that Elgast is teaching me a few little things, but this old noggin of mine, it just doesn't. It's taking it, but very slowly.
Yeah, but surely if you can't read and you're delivering people's messages, that ensures discretion.
But don't you like to
That's
know
a
what
valuable
the
service.
Oh, it is. But sometimes you just wish, like, what is this person saying about this person? In a bit of paper. But yes, I digress. Let us see Elgast and see what he has. Oh, is Elgast around?
I'm probably eating breakfast at the moment.
I'm assuming Rembrandt probably comes back in at breakfast time, given that he left very early.
And what's Volquin doing? Just eating breakfast, minding his own business.
Oh, I'm here.
It's not Volquin.
I'm
it's
quite listening.
It's not Volquin. It's Castor's Lieberung.
You notice Rembrandt come back in with a bit of a grin on his face as he approaches the table and
Got a nice new
puts
shiny
a
axe.
very shiny axe on the table.
Mm.
I traded up.
Ooh, that looks very nice.
That's pretty.
You gonna go chop some trees down?
This finest dwarven smith I've met.
I feel so for those trees.
This thing, feel it. Have a go.
All right, I'll fondle his axe, if you pardon the expression.
Again, you're looking at it at the size of it.
Oh, aye.
You expect it to be quite heavy.
It's well balanced chop of that.
Has he got a
And
good
then
nerve?
He's got a right chopper, hasn't he?
yeah. You realise that it's way lighter than you expect. You know, there's almost no light to it, but you can feel that as you kind of swing it. You don't swing it wildly, but as you kind of give it a swing.
Would you call this like a magical axe compared to like in D&D? Is it that kind of axe?
It's a master kind of high quality, isn't it?
Dwarves don't have dwarves.
So it's not really magical, but in terms of it's like a masterwork sort of axe. Then
It's
a
carbon
high
fibre.
quality.
Dwarves don't use
This
magic,
one.
but they have runes that can cause kind of.
It's called Iron's Bite. Apparently, he'll chop through some armor. That apparently.
Yes.
Nice and shiny.
So to your point there, Jet, magic weapons do exist, but they're incredibly rare.
Oh right, okay.
And so qualities.
So it's like a masterwork in D&D.
Yeah. In D&D terms, this would probably be like a masterwork or a +1 weapon.
Does this
doesn't do any extra damage, but it's just well crafted.
Does it have like a name to it? Is there a name actually on the haft or something?
Yeah, you'll know
in Dwarven Runes.
Yeah, in Dwarven Runes.
Oh, okay,
Iron's Bite, did you say?
Iron's Bite. Yes.
Iron's Bite. Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm impressed with the axe. Very, very nice.
And as you can see, the cost of things, you know, you're going around going, well, 10 gold crowns isn't enough, but actually 10 gold crowns for some things is way more than you need.
Well, if you think at the start of the adventure, back in Ubersreich, we were like, oh my god, a gold crown, that's miles away.
Yeah.
Now it's just...
I'm glad it's just to you. mere pennies to a messenger like that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had this piece
Don't
of
get
paper.
out of bed for more than 10 gold crowns.
I had this piece of paper with like 7 things on it that I thought you were going to do, and technically you've done one of them.
10 things.
Awesome.
So I think, mindful of the time and the fact that we're kind of just tipping past 11 o'clock for Guy, let's call it a day as you kind of finish up breakfast. Ella, you'll probably go off at this point to get your hat, and the rest of the group can, you'll kind of break off and you want to go and sell your spirits and things. So let's break off there, call it a night, and hopefully everybody's enjoyed themselves.
Fantastic.
Yeah, apologies for being so late, guys. Just I'm on
no,
daddy daycare tonight.
No, don't
Apologies for
worry.
making everybody sit through my shopping spree.
Oh, I like that. That was really good. I really enjoyed that bit.
Yeah,
No, I did. Seriously, it was really good.
I put on here. So my first thing was you'd enter Altdorf. I'd give you a description of what Altdorf would look like. You'd settle. Give players a chance to do what they want. Expect lots of shopping.
I mean, there is more shopping I want to do if we're in Outlaw for a little bit, but it depends on how you want to do that.
It's
Presumably, want to do quite a bit of it off.
Yeah,
it's not interesting.
If there's things that you want to do, so ultimately, from my perspective, you've got the main reason now is to go and try and figure out this thing with the prince, right? You got a couple of other loose ends, but you'll quickly realize in Altdorf that trying to find the 2 individuals that stitched you up, or the main individual that stitched you up, is going to be tricky. And so you'd need to, if you really want to do that, we can try that, but it's not going to be an easy task, and it will probably take several days, if not weeks, for you to do it. So my assumption is you'll probably shop for the morning and then maybe go and inquire after the prince and his call to arms for adventurers. So yes, we can. If anybody else wants to do any particular shopping, just ping me on Discord, and we can do that offline.
Okie dokie.
We will wrap up the selling the spirits as the first thing we do next session, and get you all back together.
Are we on for next week?
That was going to be my question to everybody. What's everybody thinking about? Are people around next Thursday? Is it too close to Christmas?
It's very likely that I'll be out.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, I'll be here.
I can do the 21st.
Same.
So it's up to other people really if they want to play.
If
I'm always available.
If Jack can play that, I don't want to play.
I'm not likely to be able to play, but if it's just me, then please go ahead and I'll catch up. It's fine.
So is everybody else okay for next Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll carry on.
Yeah.
Dave, if you just want to send me some private stuff about what Rembrandt will be doing and what he'll be aiming to accomplish while he's here, and I'm going to message you privately about something because it'll come to a head next week, and I need you to make a decision about how you will respond to it.
I was gonna say with regards to my character and the so-called inheritance.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it during the week, and I think what I would probably do is I'd have a quiet word with the group as a whole.
Yeah.
To say that obviously there's a danger because obviously that particular guy was shot in the back with the 2 crossbow bolts, which is a spitting image of my character. So I would say obviously there's a danger, therefore, to the rest of the group. Because obviously that group of people will come after me, so inherently, it's going to cause danger to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
So in that frame of mind, I would obviously have a quiet word with the party and to say that there is a danger that may happen at some stage.
So
I don't know how far. I don't know how far I want to indulge the group in terms of the inheritance, so to speak. But I certainly want to let them know that there might be a danger.
That's
but-
easily sorted. We just
Well,
fire you.
I thought it was a random attack on the coach that he was in.
So, as far as you know,
Mm.
that individual was killed by the goblins.
Yeah.
That's what everything
Yeah.
pointed to.
You see, I was thinking that they must be thinking, oh well, obviously he's dead. Do you know? You see, this I've got a different way. There's a way I would play it, but then there's the way that my character would play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
So
a little bit
It's your character,
cross.
isn't
Yeah,
Well,
I would do it differently to my character, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, he said outlaw, so he's paranoid.
Yeah, I would ask the question, Jet. The fact that Bogenhafen has been mentioned at least once in the last sort of 12 hours by the group.
Yeah.
Does that is Volquin actually interested in trying to find out about this, or is he like, do you know what? I don't want anything to do with it.
Well, I think he is. I think he'd like to find out. But you see, there's a lot of. He's very keen to grab hold of that money. He's very keen to get that inheritance and to have the estate.
Yeah.
But he's not. It's like so far above him because he's only a brass. I think brass 2.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different level, and whether he can pull it off in terms of persuading the powers that be that he's actually the person that's
Well,
the legitimate heir. Do you see what I mean?
But then again, wasn't this chappie that was killed? He wasn't a higher upper.
So
He was
I
descendant
don't
of Bob.
know. I still don't know how to role play it, if you know what I mean, our character. So I'm still undecided which direction to go in.
I think actually that's probably the right way to role play it.
Mm.
You don't know. You know,
No, I don't. This is
on
the
the one
thing.
hand, you've got a piece of paper
Mm.
that is an affidavit that swears that the holder of this piece of paper is exactly who they say it is, Castelliberon, and you've got a piece of paper that says Castelliberon is entitled to this estate.
But I still think, though, I would have a quiet word with the party, and I would just give them a heads up about the possible danger of being attacked. I think that's fair, and I think that's what I would do as a character. But I don't think I would go so far as to the full inheritance and what it involves.
Okay.
You know,
No,
that's
we
what
wouldn't want the full inheritance. You can have some of it.
that's what I'm thinking.
You want the rest, don't you?
But
You never know.
Yeah, that's my thought.
You might be related. You don't know it.
Well, this is it. I've not really done the background to my character. To be fair, I've not really looked into this to an extent.
Well, there's no danger of the body being found to have your face because I kicked that in.
See, I'm more. I do enjoy. I'm not really a role player. I mean, I admit that. I do enjoy the combat and the mechanics, that kind of side of things.
Yeah.
So this aspect is a little bit sort of out of my sort of ballpark, so to speak. But we'll see how it goes.
Yes. And absolutely. So just it's like what would be the motive? And I guess you're an outlaw. The idea of having all this money probably appeals to the.
Oh yes, it definitely would appeal. Yes.
Yeah. Do you trust the group? That would be a question.
No.
And if and that's absolutely fine, right? You don't.
But even so, I would still want to give them a heads up that there might be a possible danger.
Yeah.
Do you know? Because I think that's something that I would do.
And I'm sure the group would be grateful of that. And I'm sure that, well, I'm not going to speak for them. But I would imagine there will be certain elements in the group that would absolutely have your back because they would also be thinking about the money.
And as
Well,
your,
this is it.
as your
This is it.
faithful butler, I agree.
I
I
think
can.
I think Rembrandt and Elgast, in my head, would be a little skeptical about the whole thing.
And try and screw me out of more money than.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think. I don't.
No,
think
no,
they
they
would.
wouldn't.
I think they would be. They would be.
They turn you in, bastards.
No, they wouldn't turn him in. They would just be very. Is this too good to be true?
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I think Ella and Kay would be very interested in where this goes because it, while they might think it's too good to be true, they're probably also thinking if it's true, there's going to be money to be had. I don't think they'd
Yeah.
screw you over.
And
but I
there is
think
another thing as well, and that is that to whether or not I am related or not, whether I am the heir, again, could be a complete bluff. It might be a case that I'm not. I'm just happen to look like the person, and I might need the party to back me up in terms of trying to negotiate the fact that I am actually the proper heir. So there's lots of ifs and buts with this particular.
only way this is going to happen is if you can convince the party to have a reason to go to Bogenhaven.
Mm.
With 17 crates of whites.
Which
Yeah.
we currently
That-
losing money on.
May have gone, but may not have. Kay will
Well,
need to do a bit of smooth talking, I think, if she wants to
No,
rescue that.
I was joking about it. You're okay.
No, but yeah.
Hmm.
But trust me, interesting things will happen next session.
okay.
Make things a little bit more interesting. And we'll see where that leads.
Mm.
But what I will say, Jet, is because I'm always concerned that you're present, and I'm not suggesting you're not for 1 minute, but
Mm.
that was why I selected you right at the beginning. That you would be the Castelliberon of our campaign, because I don't mean to, if you're uncomfortable with the role play elements that's going to force upon you, you need to let me know.
Yeah, I am not really comfortable with the role playing side of things.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Okay.
I'll give it a try, but it's not me. I'm more into
So
the
what I
mechanics.
know so far, because I'm 3 books further in my
Oh, okay.
player. It's important, but it doesn't require a lot of role play on your part.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It requires you to react and
Oh, I'm very good at
interact,
reacting. Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend an hour role playing.
Oh, that's good.
So, but it is funny.
We'll see how it pans out next few
Yeah.
sessions then.
See how it
No,
pans
no
out.
spoilers.
I mean, if we have to retcon it, then we can retcon it. But I'd
Okey-doke.
rather not.
Mm.
But
Oh no, I'd rather do it in game. I'd
Yeah.
rather try and role play it. But as I say, you need to be patient with me because I'm not really a role player.
Don't worry, Jack. Seriously, buddy.
So game on next week. I'll
Mm.
talk to Evil separately. I've got a couple of questions for him because there's a couple of important questions that he needs to think about. If there's anything shopping wise that people want to do, we will play through the selling the wine, the spirits next week. And then I'm going to assume at that point that you've done all your shopping, you're going to have lunch, and then you're going to go find the print, and we'll kind of do that little bit, and then the evening of the next day, because that's where we'll start moving the story forward again quite quickly. There's a couple of other things that we're trying to bring. I'm trying to bring back and trying to bring in, but I need to get you to a point where it makes sense to bring you in. So we'll see. What
Okay.
happens.
Well, thank you very much for tonight's session. I enjoyed it. It was good.
You're welcome.
Thank you, folks.
I
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
might not
as
be
always,
here
it's a
next week.
pleasure. Say,
'cause
Doc.
I might not be here next week because somebody else if I could needed cover for work, so I said yes because I didn't think we had a session next week.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
we'll be late. Or
Yeah,
I'll be
late's
late
all right.
here.
Late's
Or,
fine, Doc.
or I'll be just listening.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so let's continue next week. If anybody else has to drop for some reason, then we'll call it off.
I'll
Okie
just
dokie.
check if actually need cover.
But otherwise, we can carry on as we are. Okay.
How about Sunday? Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate Sunday's fine.
That's good. And
Internet
Monday?
Monday's fine.
I can't make Sunday, so but feel free to crack on.
Okay. I am
Try not to rename anything or. You know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to respec you into a
Rotten fish holder.
what's the worst thing you could be? A rat catcher. I'm not working next week, so I'm around all week. Work's not going to get in the way, etc. So we're all good.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I'll
Zed.
see you guys
Yeah.
next week, hopefully.
Yep.
Thanks,
See you
all.
soon.
Take
Awesome.
care, all. Be
Good
safe.
session.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
guys.